Hey guys, Revan here. Welcome back. Today we're going to be progressing with our coal seeds, making a little bit of automation for a farm, and seeing what else we can get up to. So sit back, enjoy the video, and let's see what we can get done. Well, after a little bit of a server rollback and a whole lot of hours of redoing the seeds, I have managed to get my coal seeds up to 10-10-10. These are just rubber seeds. I've been utilizing them because I need rubber for, well, the solar panels. So those are just one, basic tier seeds. So what I'm gonna do now is I am going to start on the solar panels. Let me just get some stuff into the system here. I'm making the Tech Reborn solar panels. They're fairly inexpensive for early game. They don't really produce anything, but they should be able to run the farm. In order to make these, we need a little bit of glass, some pulverized coal, which coal is no longer an issue since we have the seeds. A decent amount of copper, which I had to go mining for, the rubber from Tech Reborn, or the plastics from Industrial 4 Gorings. Obviously, it's going to be easier for the rubber, especially now that I have the rubber essence. So I am going to start on that. I've also been smelting up some refined iron, which is just regular iron. Regular iron smelted back up for a second time. So if we just were to toss this in here, it should pop out as refined iron. Oh, grab this copper too, because we're gonna need a bunch of that for the components of the solar panel. All right, so let us make, I'm thinking 2 solar panels per farm should be fine. I'm hoping. Obviously, I'm going to have to be conscious about sleeping a lot more than I do right now, because I've just been solely working on the base and solely working on the plants down below. I've just been letting night pass naturally. But if I have plants, I'm going to have to worry about that. So let's see about making these generators. So we need a couple furnaces. We said we wanted 4, so we'll toss those in there. The basic machine frames, 3, 4. Let's see, what else was it? The batteries. Okay, so we need some tin and some copper. Oh, that's right. We have to make the rubber here. Forgot about that. We'll just make up a couple stacks of it. We'll just start with a stack. I don't want to use too much of my copper. And tin. Do I have tin? Ooh. Tin is going to be an issue. What do we got here? Pulverized tin. All right, so we can smelt that up real quick. Toss this in the pulverizer so that we can ore double, and then we will just wait for the rest of this tin to process over here. We can actually speed that up a decent amount just by splitting it up into smaller groups and tossing it into our normal furnaces. Eventually, I do want to set up a farm for the base essence seeds, and then slowly move up the tiers on these. So I can't off the top of my head remember if in previous packs you were able to use Agricraft with essence seeds, but in this pack you cannot. So you really do have to rely on the tiers, which shouldn't be an issue, but making a decent sized farm out of the essence seeds is going to become required fairly shortly here, especially because I do want to get into the armor and the furnaces, which you're going to need an absolute ton of the essence on. So having that farm is definitely going to be helpful. So how are we doing on the tin? I don't think we needed all too much tin, but we'll see how far we can get with 34. All right, so that was for the batteries. 2. All right. Oh, these do not stack. Toss those back up. Let's see. We should have enough for 4 generators. Perfect. And then these guys. So we need 8 of these. All right. And so can we make our 4 solar panels? We can. Now we're going to need some sort of cable, which I think our best bet is going to be go for the flux. Or the leadstone. Let's see. Leadstone flux does 1000 RF per tick. These solar panels don't do anything near there, so that should be perfect. And we'll just grab 12. And then we're also going to need some item conduits, which I don't believe I've made yet, so this might actually be an achievement here. I'm sorry, item ducts. So that just takes tin and ooh. Okay, so what other types of items ducts do we have? I think there's a cheaper one. I forget which. Is it cyclic that does it? Give me 1 sec here. Yes. Go. All right, so we are going to be using these cyclic item cables. So for that, we need some brick stairs, which we're going to need to smelt up some clay. So let's just grab a stack of that real quick. And we'll do the same thing where we just divide this up by 4 to make it go a little bit faster. In the meantime, is our tin done? Yes. All right. Now, I also want to say that the cyclic has transfer nodes. The only problem is these aren't going to be very fast, so I don't know if they're going to be able to keep up with a farm. And you can add speed upgrades to these, however they use grid power, and I'm not at the position where I'm ready for grid power just yet. So we need some stone, redstone, transfer pipes. Ooh, okay, so we're gonna need some half slabs. Then we'll just take these. That should be good. And then we're also going to need a drawer controller. 2 of them, because I want to set up a farm for the essence as well. So we're going to need definitely some redstone torches. That should be good. There it is. Perfect. And if I can remember to actually craft the comparators. There we go. We got 2 drawer controllers. We got a couple drawers to help us out. Drawer upgrades we will need. Which are, let's see, how far can we actually get? Do we have the ability? We do, we just don't have... We'll just make a couple upgrades to begin with here. I believe 5 is the highest you can go. So we'll just start with 2 for now. I do need to go up eventually and mine some obsidian so that I can, do good things like make void upgrades. So let me get this started, figure out a location of where I want to put all of this, which I am leaning towards probably somewhere out here in the flatlands. And I will be right back once I get a spot set up. Okay, so this is what I have set up so far. It's just a little 3x3 plot. It should be more than enough considering the seeds are 10, 10, 10. So we'll just put down our worm. We can add a sprinkler a little bit later on. But we are just going to fill this up with whole seeds and not weeds. Thank you very much. Weeds are quickly becoming the bane of my existence in this pack. It took way longer than I wanted it to actually grow the seeds up. So we will put the harvester right there. And then we should just be able to put solar panel, break you guys, and then let's see, there's the power cable. So we want to set this to a 3x3. Just make sure that we run this properly. That looks good. Now, because of the AgriCraft sticks, it should not actually break the plants, but rather just harvest them, is what I'm hoping. But we can kind of give that a test. Just give this a quick watering to see if we can't. Okay, so the harvester from Cyclic is not going to work with the AgriCraft. I could have swore that it did, however, I was wrong. So instead, we're going to be going for the farmer from Actually Additions. So in order to get into that, we need to make the atomic reconstructor. So I think I picked up an iron casing from a previous village. I did. So let's just set this down right here. Actually, let's set this down over here, and then we will take our leadstone flux from our battery. North, down, up. We'll just switch these all on. And then, oh, it's not what I wanted to do. Let me grab a lever, since I'm wasting all my power right now. And a redstone torch, since I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is how we switch the modes. And we're also going to need a pressure plate. So we will toss the lever on, and we'll set that to pulse. Toss that down, and then we need to grab a bunch of iron so that we can turn it into the crystals. I should still have a decent amount of iron. 74 isn't that great, but we have plenty of iron ore because we found a magical little room full of nothing but iron ore. So let's turn you on. Okay. Why is it still going? So do we have enough for the farmer now? Okay, so we just need the Nori crystal blocks. 2, 3. Forget. You have to, with the simple storage, you actually have to throw it into the system. You can't just use it from your inventory other than the first initial craft. All right, so let's see if this farmer works. Almost getting nighttime. Yes. That is working. I don't know what the actual range on this is, so I'm going to have to be careful about other things that I put around here. But I can look that up. So, how are we doing on power? So it looks to be doing okay on power, so we'll accept that for now. Let us put this over here, our one drawer controller down here. And we are going to have to kind of monitor this a little bit just to make sure that it's not grabbing seeds. It shouldn't because of the AgriCraft, but isn't always a guarantee. And we're going to put one drawer on top, throw in one of our storage upgrades, and we should be getting coal in there. Nice. All right, so we now have an automated coal farm that we can let run for a little while. Just take a little bit of a nap here. So I am essentially going to set up a very similar plot for the essence seeds. Okay, well, I did a little bit of research on the farmer from Actual Editions, and apparently it does a 15 by 15 area. So that's why I cleared a bunch of these seeds and stuff over here. So I've got 15 Inferium seeds. So what the plan is, I am just going to put them down in front here. So I need to count off, let's see, right here, and I will put a water source. And where is my hoe? There we go. There we go. And we got some worms. If I can transfer. All right, well, that should be working. So we can leave that do what it does, and then eventually, once we get more Inferium essence, we can upgrade all of these guys to tier 2, and we can continue on. So in the meantime, as we're collecting the coal essence, I want to convert that, if possible, with an auto crafter. So let's just toss these guys in here and see what options we have for a crafter. Looking for something low power. Let's see, extra utilities, mechanical crafter, analog crafter, Enderio crafter, RF tools. That's going to take power. So we need a resonating crystal, which I don't think we have. Oh, we do have one of those. Don't have any cobble. That shouldn't be a problem. We have plenty of cobble in our dank knoll here. So back to the dropper. Wow, we have no wood. Okay. Just take, we'll make it out of birch. There we go. And crafter. I'm not sure I've ever used this one before, so I don't know if it's going to take a redstone signal, a lever, power, but we will find out. Let's come back outside. And we can, I'm going to put this here for right now. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to. All right. I used the correct one. And where is our transfer cable? So that is getting coal. And we want it to output coal. There we go. So that's working, and then we can, we don't have any more drawers. Let's make another drawer. So we'll put the compacting drawer right there for now. Grab our transfer node. And I know I can make flat transfer nodes, but I've had issues in the past with flat transfer nodes. So I try not to use them. I've had issues where it actually freezes the game. So question is, why is this not outputting? Nope, that is still not outputting items. So let me look into what do I need to do to get this to actually output, and I will be right back. Unfortunately, the basic cyclic cables are not very fast, and they're not keeping up with the farm. So I am kind of forced into having to get into Enderio, which is, you know, it's not a bad thing, but getting into it can be a little bit troublesome at times. So first things we have to do is we need to make our way down to bedrock. And once we are down there, if we can find an area that's not covered in lava, once we're down to bedrock, then we have to start working on getting grains of infinity. So, alright, so you just set bedrock on fire. And once it goes out, eventually it should spawn. It has a chance of spawning in, what is it called again? Grains of infinity, I believe. Yes, grains of infinity. I'm also curious if I can make this into a seed. It does not look like I can make it into a seed. What about mystical? I can make it into a seed. Right, that's graphite. Grains of infinity seed. It's a tier 2 seed. So if I can just collect just enough of this, I can make that into a seed real quick. And that will save me having to set up automatic users and whatnot down here, which will save me on iron and flint. So let me collect a few of these, and then I can run. Actually, we have 4. That might be good. That's good enough for 1 seed. So please and thank you. All right, we can toss this stuff back up in here. Magic crystals we'll put over in, what is this? Oh, sapphire. Okay. Magic crystals we'll put back over in our wand station. We are getting close on the wand to being able to upgrade it. It takes a very, very long time. I have a book that says it'll upgrade a novice staff to an apprentice when there's been enough significant progress, but I'm not it doesn't seem like the significant progress is anything other than complete progress. So we have a little bit more ways to go on that. I should have some, there we go, some sticks over here. Do we still have our watering can? No, I put the watering can back up here. Let me grab this real quick. Should be in this last crate. Yes. And then we can start on the grains of infinity, and once we get that, making capacitors, at least the basic level, should not be an issue once we have some seeds going here. And it won't let me, okay. So I cannot utilize these seeds with the Agricraft, so I can't level them up. I've noticed that with a couple of seeds so far. But I always thought grains of infinity you could at least level up. So we're just going to have to grow this one up until it sprouts a couple extra seeds. And we can collect a decent amount. So I will be back once I've done that. So I managed to farm up a little bit more of the grains of infinity. I only got 2 extra seeds while doing this, and I even started putting down some of the growth accelerators down here because it was just taking way too long. But if we check my dank null here, I have 47 essence of grains of infinity. So that should be enough to get us to where we need to go. So I just need to come back over here to my station. Let's see, grains of infinity. So this should get us how many? All right, it's just a little bit more than a stack. So that should be good to start. So when you're getting into Enderio, what I highly recommend is you try to get, I don't want to say fully into it, but let me show you. So you're going to want the alloy smelter and the sag mill. Obviously, I believe you have to start with the basics, yes. Alloy smelter, sag mill. So the reason I say you want to go more than just the beginning way, you do want to end up with the regular alloy smelter and the regular sag mill. Reason being is the simple sag mills and the simple Enderio tools, they leak power. So the thing I don't like about these is no matter what it's doing, it's going to be drawing power. And the reason I want to get into it is because I want some fused quartz. So let's take a stack of quartz, come over here and toss this up. So this should output some fused quartz for us. So we're making a little bit, so we will be able to upgrade our ports outside from the farm to the item ducts relatively shortly. Main reason is it's not keeping up at all with the production that we have right now, and we're only still on tier 2 inferium seeds, so we don't have any growth accelerators underneath. So if I start to ramp this up, I'm really gonna have to babysit it. So moving to the item ducts and the retrievers and whatnot is really going to be the way to go. But I think I'm going to call it an end of the episode there. For the next episode, I'm going to work a little bit more towards Enderio, getting the farm set up, a little bit more automated, and working towards some sort of power progression. So I will see you guys next time. Until then, take care. If you haven't, remember to subscribe and leave a like on the video. Helps me out a lot.